Welcome back, everybody. We're continuing with the set of interviews that John did with conservative influencers at the Moms for Liberty Summit last week. A big theme of that event was how we can protect our kids and teach them the values of faith, family, and freedom in America. That is still rife with leftist cultural talking points. So John got the chance to speak to a dad on how to partner with moms and raise our kids the right way.
My next guest is not only an amazing dad, but he's an amazing voice throughout the conservative movement. You hear him on lots of shows. Joining me right now, Gates Garcia. Good to have you, my friend.
Hey, John. Thanks for having me.
All right. Most of the folks here are women. We're in the minority here. But it is important, and the message I've heard all day, it's important for men to step into this void, to give strong male examples, to make sure that we're there right alongside our children and our wives. What have you taken away from here so far?
Yeah, well, first of all, on that point, right, there's so much talk about masculinity in this country. First, the left wanted to strip us of men, and then some on the right, as a response to that, went so far into this toxic masculinity movement. Look, the most masculine thing we can do as men is champion women.
Amen.
And support the roles of women. Because, first of all, they're a lot more badass than we are at the end of the day.
Isn't it true? No doubt about it.
Honestly, like when I come here, right, it's like, holy moly, this is a grassroots movement. You'd have thought coming here that Moms for Liberty was a 20-year-old organization.
Yeah.
They've been around for 4 years.
It's amazing,
And if you
isn't it?
look at the real change that happens in this country, it's bottom-up grassroots, and they're doing it. And I'm just proud to be, it's like a 9-to-1 ratio here.
Yeah, it sure is.
And I'm proud to be one of the guys they let come in.
Yeah, it's a special thing. You have joined the conversation in a big way. Your voice is so important. What spoke to you and said, this is my moment, I got to join this conversation, I got to make a difference, I got to make people feel comfortable in believing in liberty and faith and all the things that you believe in?
Yeah, so the show is sort of a three-legged stool of faith, family, and freedom. And I'm a huge consumer of the media, and there's a lot of media out there that I love and have to have in my life. But I just wasn't seeing enough conversations that sort of reflected myself. I wasn't looking into the mirror and seeing a media. I saw a lot of front page. I didn't see a lot of back porch. So with my show, you get the serious stuff. We just don't take ourselves very seriously. We're going to cover all the news, but we're not going to break the news, John. We're going to break the news down into how it affects your daily life. You're going to watch a 40-year-old dad with 3 kids and 1 on the way take the headlines in the news and live it out in his daily life. And man, John, we are getting some massive guests. My guest this week's Dr. Ben Carson.
How cool is that?
But you're hearing from him and Hall of Fame athletes and Hollywood actors, all conservatives. You're hearing from them in ways you've never heard from them before, and the reaction's been overwhelming.
That is amazing. And you're right, the back porch and the kitchen table is what gets ignored in American politics, and you're doing such a great job. You make us laugh, you make us think. I love that. What's been the biggest surprise since you became a content creator?
The biggest surprise, so when I started out, again, 40-year-old dad, my target audience was going to be like 30 to 60-year-olds, so people that are in the early years of starting a family, in the prime years of raising a family, and then sort of in that stage where they see the family they created and the results that they've made for themselves. But the young audience, oh my gosh, the college reaction to my show has been overwhelming. I was never aiming for that audience, but they're like, you are someone and your guests are someone that we need to see if we look 20 years out into our life, like what's the star we're aiming for? Like, it's nice to know the values we need today, but how do those materialize into an adult life? And so I've gotten tons of followers and viewers from a younger audience that I was never aiming for.
We used to have generations that would hand off to each other, and you'd have those role models say, when I grow up, I want to be that. For a while, those role models were torn down, canceled. You're stepping in and creating that now, and I think it's really cool. And if you're 20-something, you now have someone that knows, he's been through this, I can do this. And I think that is an amazing thing. When you look out at the conversation in the country today, obviously America spoke pretty definitively in November. There's been a lot of progress on the issues that America cared about, but the resistance, the hostility, whether it's the No Kings rally that'll make a mess in Washington, D.C., or the assassination of Charlie Kirk, there's still a determined group that want to tear down this country. How do we defeat that for the long term?
Well, we've got to pick up the torch that Charlie left off. As effective as they were in taking out Charlie Kirk, about 1 million more Charlie Kirks were born. I mean, if you look at, I always tell my kids, God works in mysterious ways. Evil breeds good. 200 million or something streams for his memorial event. That's 200 million people hearing the gospel, many for the first time. So I think that a spirit has been, I'll say, reawoken in this country, and there's a revival here like we've never seen. Look, they have no idea what they did, because they have ignited a generation of patriots to come out like you've never seen before.
It is. That bullet that was designed to silence something, and instead it energized it, and I think that that's an amazing thing. All right. there are a lot of men today, they struggle, they wonder, why is that guy on the pulpit for the women's gold medal? It can be confusing to be a guy today. What's some of the best advice you give young men as they're going through the dating process, the early marriage, fatherhood, to make sure that they don't lose their true North Star?
So the best advice I got when our first child was born, who is now 11, and she's a girl, so I was having a daughter, was model the man in your home that you want her to bring home as a boyfriend. So if you're a jerk in the home and you're rude to your wife and you don't treat your daughter appropriately, do not be surprised when that's the boyfriend she brings home. So I think that men, look, we're big and we're masculine and we're macho and we talk a big talk, but more is caught than taught. Okay, so we have a responsibility in our homes to demonstrate to our kids what a man is supposed to look like in society, because whatever you model, they're going to go pick in society and bring that home. So we have more responsibility than we realize.
That's pretty darn wise words. I like that. I never had a daughter, but if I did, I would have that motto on my wall tomorrow. That's really amazing. Right now, your children are all different ages. Congratulations on number 4 on the way. Do you know boy or girl yet?
Girl. Thank God. Thank God. After going through 2 boys. Oh, my gosh.
You need that break now, right?
Yeah.
That's so funny. What are kids seeing in school? What are some of the things as a parent that you have to work on every day to make sure that they aren't influenced by bad forces?
Yeah, so my wife's on the State Board of Education here in Florida, so she's very impactful in the movement here. We have a wonderful state in Florida with school choice and being able to educate our kids with the models that works for them. But I will say this. Culture starts at the kitchen table. We've talked about that. But a lot of things are out of your control. So you may think that you're banning phones in your home, but their kids have phones at the school. So we sort of do this sort of like catch-up conversation throughout at the end of the day when they come home. What happened at school today? Who'd you play with? What'd you learn? All that sort of stuff. Yeah. And you can pick up little nuggets there of, oh, so-and-so showed me this on their phone. Okay, well, now I know so-and-so has a phone, and we've got to sort of police that environment. But I will say the future of education is here in Florida. Everyone has access to a scholarship. Everyone has access to choose the school they want to go to. A lot of that's credit to my wife and her great work on the State Board of Education. But Florida should be the model that the rest of the country looks to for school choice.
It really is. Men playing men's sports, women playing women's sports.
Don't get me down that rabbit hole.
It's scary. It really is scary. And it's got to be confusing for young people if you're in one of these blue states that haven't caught the common sense that they should. For folks who want to follow all the work you do, what's the best way to do it?
Oh, thanks for doing that.
Man, I love it.
I'm at Gates Garcia FL, as in Florida, on Instagram and X. My YouTube show, which is also on Apple and Spotify, is We the People with Gates Garcia.
I love it.
We are firing up faith, family, and freedom to a level that you've never experienced before.
Well, thank you for what you've done. Thank you for creating a role model for millions of young men to step into that void and be the next good dad like you are. It's a great honor to have you on the show, my friend.
Thanks a lot, John.
Thanks a lot. All right, brother.
All right, everybody. After the break, John's going to be back with me for our weekly Just the News health update. That's next.
Hey, folks, I've got an important message for you about high blood pressure. It's one of the highest risk factors for mortality. Nearly 1 in 2 adults have high blood pressure, meaning there's about a 50-50 chance you could be affected. Getting help and taking control of your blood pressure is crucial for your health and longevity. And one way to do that is by using 120 Life. And 120 Life is not just to help manage high blood pressure. It also can be beneficial for those with diabetes, because managing high blood pressure can help with diabetes, making 120 Life a valuable tool for overall wellness. 120 Life is trusted by healthcare professionals with over 1,000 doctors recommending it to help manage your blood pressure naturally. For a limited time, try 120 Life and save 20% off. Just use the code JTN at checkout at 120life.com. 120 Life offers a risk-free trial with a full refund. If you don't see lower numbers in 2 weeks, go to 120life.com and use the code JTN to save 20%.